Publishing before you're ready, I 10 out of 10 don't recommend it, because you will end up looking like a fool. You will end up looking like a GD fool. GD stands for gosh darn. We can't say that word on this channel, but... Oh, I didn't see you there. Hello. They told me you'd be coming. So I heard that you want to self-publish a novel. Well, that's brilliant. I just have a few questions for you. How's your manuscript? Is it fleshed out? Did you build a rich world for your reader to immerse themselves in? What about your characters? Are they well-rounded people with flaws who have arcs? Do they end the story in a different place than they started? Or are they hollow pieces of paper? Did you spend more time showing than telling? What about your theme? Underneath all the world building and the characters and the juicy plot twists that you have planned, what are you saying? What is it that you want the reader to know? These are all important things you have to think about before you can even dream about publishing your novel. Also, did someone else read it? Did you get opinions? Did you send it out into the world to be critiqued by people who give you their honest opinion on what you've written? Well, if not, then you, my dear, might not be ready to self-publish. Of course, you can always jump the gun, as so many of us have done, myself included, and end up with a piece of embarrassing... Of course, it doesn't have to be embarrassing, but it most likely will be embarrassing if you don't take the proper steps to find out exactly what it is you're even trying to say in this novel of yours. Trust me, honey, you may think that you have the most brilliant idea ever, but you probably don't. And if you self-published a successful novel and none of this applies to you, then congratulations, you belong to the rare minority of people that this video is not directed toward. Run along, enjoy your success. This video is for those of us who are so excited, so anxious, that we just give it our all, even if it's, well, in the wrong direction. You know what I was just thinking about? I was thinking about that time that you wrote that really stupid novel and published it. It cost you like $1,000 to do that, and it's like the dumbest piece of garbage you've ever written, and now it's out in the world forever. I mean, how does that make you feel? I mean, I just think it's hilarious that you even did that. But you know what would be so funny? It would be so funny if you ordered your book and then like read it and made fun of it. What do you mean, like roast myself? Yeah, yes, you should roast yourself. Like, nobody on YouTube needs to know that I wrote that book. Oh, if you blow up the way you want to blow up, people are gonna find out. So you might as well just tell them now. It'll save you some embarrassment. Like, it was just a stupid mistake that I made that I'm not gonna make again. Okay, it was a dumb story that I like thought was cool, but obviously it's not, and so like it's fine. No, I'm gonna order it. I'm gonna order the book. What is this? You can get it on Kindle? I didn't know it was available on Kindle. How embarrassing. You want to know what's even more embarrassing is that I wrote this review. It's so embarrassing. It's like the most sane. Who's saying Jane? Seriously, this is the most embarrassing thing that I've ever done. And we should order it and then I'll read it so that we can laugh. This is the room. This is Birdemic. This is Troll freaking 2. First of all, it's not long enough. This is not a novel. This is a short story. You could read this in an hour. The characters are underdeveloped. The story doesn't make any sense. I don't even think it's good enough to be so good that it's bad. I think it's actually just bad. People always talk about, if I could travel back in time and go back in time and what would you say to your younger self? Or what era would you travel back to? I would travel back to my 22-year-old self and I would tell myself not to do this. Let's read some of it, shall we? Let's read the blurb on the back. Have you ever had that one crazy week in your life? You know what I'm talking about. That one particular span of 7 days where anything that could possibly go wrong does go wrong. That's what happens to Catherine Smith. She's just a typical high school senior with typical teenage problems. In 1 week, she manages to lose friends, gain new friends, suffer family problems, and uncover secrets she never thought possible about the people around her. Will she be able to make things right again with all the people she loves and cares about? Or will she find that sometimes a severed limb is impossible to fix? I see what I was trying to do. I see where I was trying to go, but this ain't it, boo. I did not have a single friend in the world to sit me down and stop me from doing this. Can we just talk about the dedication page for a second? It says, when you publish your first book, dedicate it to me. My second grade teacher, Mrs. Maddox, said to me one sunny afternoon. I never forgot those words. So here it is, Mrs. Maddox, just like I promised. This one is for you. Mrs. Maddox was a lovely teacher. She was one of my favorite teachers. She deserves better than this, okay? This is an embarrassment. Mrs. Maddox, I am so sorry for dedicating this garbage to you. Chapter 1. I am so completely in love with Todd Blossom. It's not just the fact that he's awesome to look at, but he's kind and quiet. I can sit and watch him all day long, and sometimes I do. His body, flawlessly built with that amazing dark hair adding to his mystery. It all amazes me. He's not like the other guys on the football team who just try to score with every girl they meet. No, not Todd. He's a hopeless romantic. What? He's the most caring guy a girl could hope for, but he doesn't know me. We have never spoken. The closest contact we've had was passing each other in the halls. Even then, his cologne was intoxicating, and it tempted me to linger a while and stare at his butt. Oh my God. Whew. Okay. I told my best friend Betty about it, and she said I should just ask him out. I told her that I didn't want to seem too desperate, so when I spent the night at her house one Saturday, we stayed up all night devising a foolproof plan for him to notice me. Well, we didn't exactly come up with a plan. Okay, they stayed up all night devising a plan, but they didn't come up with a plan. Wow, Monica. Great storytelling. Grade A storytelling here. We just figured that I should try to get his attention, talk to him and stuff. Seems like a good idea, right? Girl, who are you talking to? Did you just break the fourth wall? I like this boy, and he's so cute, and he's not like everyone else. Girl, what? Monica. Is there any part of this book that's like not embarrassing? Chapter 3. Everything was going to be different now. That's what I kept thinking to myself as I cried. I wish I had just left the letter alone. Why did I have to read it so bad? If she hadn't been so protective of it, I wouldn't have wanted to read it. I looked down at the letter in my hands. All the crying made my vision blurry, but I could still make out the words. She loves me. She loves me. I just kept saying it to myself. She loves me the way I want Todd to love me. Okay, so at the point, the main character, Catherine, finds out her best friend, Betty, is a lesbian and has a crush on her. And she's just like all shook because she's been friends with this girl and sleeping over with this girl and talking about boys. And the whole time, boop, Betty had a crush on her. Which was, like, it could be great storytelling, but not the way I told it, which was just all obvious and on the nose. I do a lot of telling in this book and no showing. Like, it's all exposition. If you just flip through, there's like hardly any parts where characters are talking. It's all just me saying, and then this happened, and then that happened, and then this happened, and then that happened, which is not the way you want to write a novel. You want to show and not tell. Obviously, there are instances where you want to tell, like if a span of 3 weeks passed and you're like, 3 weeks passed, and then you go into showing. But all I do is tell, and tell. I don't let the reader figure out hardly anything for themselves. It's a terrible book, you guys. It's a terrible book. And you know what? Even though I've written this garbage, and this is not the only garbage thing that I have made. I have made other garbage things that maybe I'll react to and point out, this could have been better. That could have been better. It could have been better. So in conclusion, my dudes, what have we learned? Here's what we've learned. If you're going to self-publish a book, first of all, write a good story. Make it compelling. Make your characters rich. Build a world. Basically the opposite of everything I did here. Because you can see with how thin this book is, there's no character development. There's no world building. My characters don't grow. They don't learn anything. They're one-dimensional. They're basically they're thinner than the book itself. The characters are flatter than the book itself. Get beta readers. Get sensitivity readers. Get people to read your book that don't love you, okay? Get someone to read it who's going to tell you the truth, who's going to give it to you straight, and say, hey, this is garbage. Don't publish this. Not that what you're writing is garbage, but otherwise you're going to get one of these, and you don't want one of these, baby. You do not want one of these. Edit. If you're going to self-publish, get an editor. Don't just go over your book yourself. Pay somebody to do it for you. It'll be money well spent. If I could go back in time to when I was 22 years old and set myself down and have a real conversation, I'd be like, look, baby girl, I know you want to be a writer, okay? I feel you. I still have that dream. But you got to do this right. You can't just be putting garbage out into the world and expect people to flock to it. That's not how it works. You got to be putting out quality content. I feel like especially as a Black creator, we have even less opportunities to get our work out there and get it seen and get attention. And we already have to work 2 or 3 or 4 times as hard as our white counterparts just to get half the attention and half the credit. And we also have less opportunities to fail. This is a huge fail. Something like this could set me back, but I'm not trying to hide it. I'm not trying to run away from it. This is definitely something that I learned from, and I won't make the same mistake again. Just so we can see how much I've grown here. Take a gander at this. This is Narrow. This is a novel that I wrote in 2017. This is the third draft of that. It's 63 chapters, 380 pages, and over 75,000 words. So compare this unpublished manuscript to this. Do you know how much more story is in this book? Like, if I could go back in time, I would slap myself. This cost me like $900 in publishing fees, and with royalty checks, I made like $5. I can laugh about it now, but there was a point in time where I would think about this book and I would just feel so embarrassed and so just disappointed in myself and just hurt that I would just embarrass myself like this. And I'm like, this isn't the quality of work that I want to put into the world. I want to do better. I want to do more. And I feel that because I'm Black, I get held to this higher standard because white artists get to fail all the time and they get endless opportunities. Even if they make a movie that bombs at the box office, they get other chances to make other things. And as a Black creator, if you get the opportunity to make a thing and it fails, then everybody just looks at you like a failure. And it's like, well, there goes your one chance. See what happens when we give a chance to the Blacks? And it's really frustrating. And so I feel even more pressure to not put garbage out into the world. And this is garbage, you know? Like, this, don't try to be nice to me just because you like me. This is trash. And if you read it, you would know that it was trash. It is so awful. If you want a good example of what not to do, this is your example. Don't put an unfinished piece of material into the world that is not a good representation of who you are as an artist. This was a mistake. Stop it. It's not ready. It's not ready. It's not ready. Do not serve unseasoned chicken. That is what this is. This book is unseasoned chicken. Just don't. Don't do it. Flesh out your characters. Spend some time. Research. Write more. The most important thing is that if mistakes like this happen, we don't let them consume us or stop us. After I self-published that novel, I really felt the weight of the failure that I had put upon myself. I thought, well, this is it. I'm never going to write again. I might as well find something else to do with my time. I'm a fraud. I'm a fake. I'm not a fraud, and I'm not a fake. I am a writer. And I say that proudly. Have I made millions of dollars writing stories? No. But I might someday. Yes, I have this failure under my belt, but that's fine. I've learned a lot from it. And if I could go back and talk to my 22-year-old self, I would have told her to spend a little more time polishing the novel. Spend a little more time on character, on plot. Figure out the theme. What are you trying to say? What is the story that you really want to tell? I would not have gone back and tried to stomp out her flame. I would have fueled her fire and told her that she could do it and given her the tools to do it the right way. So, if you have a failure in your past that's holding you back, don't let it. We all screw up, and it's fine. It's part of being human. The most important thing is to learn from your mistake, to know that you're not infallible. To know that we're all learning all the time. And just because you graduated from high school or college doesn't mean that you stop learning. We're always constantly evolving and changing. And it's important that we take those lessons with us and not forget them. So I will not be scrubbing this novel from existence. I won't shy away if it's ever brought up in conversations. I'll own it proudly and say, yes, I prematurely published a novel without thinking, without it even being ready to be seen by other people's eyes. But I have learned, and I will not be doing that again. See you next time. Cheers. Thank you for watching this. I hope you come back. Please subscribe, like the video. I'm making videos about writing and filmmaking. I have short films on my channel. If you would like to read the scripts for my short films, there's a link in the description that will take you to my website where you can read the PDFs. You can download them if you so choose. It's just my way of getting my work out there and saying, hey, I can write screenplays. Hire me. Seriously, I can. This ain't it. This ain't it. See y'all later.